You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
in-state kids are always a conundrum of sorts. There's suddenly heightened expectations for those that play high school football, basketball, and baseball within the state, and they're elect to come to Fayetteville and play at the University of Arkansas. And not to say that when you get a 4 or 5-star kid in one of the sports or in baseball, you get a highly decorated player that forgoes the draft, that there aren't expectations associated with that player. There's no doubt about that. But in-state, and it's not just the case here in Arkansas, it's across the country within college football, college basketball, and college baseball. You just heard an in-state kid last year have one of the best plays of his career, if not the best play. The punt return he had against BYU, Isaiah Satania, Fayetteville High School. What's Harmon Field, Tommy? 200 yards, 300 yards from Donald W.?
Well, I don't know how many yards, but yeah, the campuses adjoin each other. But yeah, I mean it's right there, and I think that adds even more heightened pressure to the situation. You mentioned in-state kid, but I think Satania's poised to be a weapon this year on Arkansas's team and its offense in a variety of ways.
We had a chance to listen to Ronnie Fouch, new wide receivers coach yesterday. He's coached under Bobby Petrino before, as has Colby Smith, running backs coach. And we're going to hear from him, Isaiah, Jaden Wilson, Isaac Tesla, and some of the things that they had to say about their room. Again, every single catch from last season, think about that. Every single catch made by a wide receiver is back on campus this year. That seldom happens. And you think about the history.
That's either good or bad.
And that's a fair point.
I know that's a simpleton statement, but that could be really good or that could be old.
And that's fair.
Sometimes teams with tons of returning starters, they're returning for a reason.
Yeah, 4-8 last year, and that's
particularly
very evident.
in the portal world. That can be an overrated stat sometimes. Yes. That's a What's Your Beef Wednesday, middle of the week. Heading towards the weekend, final few weekends before, well, for some, you got 2 weekends really before school starts, getting after it here pretty soon. So we're getting down to the last few big weekends of summer grilling season. We'll be headed to fall grilling season. Richards Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. No other meat market's in the same league when it comes to selection, quality, and value. Richards has the best meat in town. Richards Country Meat Market. Find them online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
We'll get into our beefs coming up in just a bit. If you have one, jump in 877-377-6963. We're going to hear from a wide receiver, and Richard Smith coming up in 720. And Clay is back, apparently, which is good. He said he's feeling a lot better than he was the previous handful of days, and I'm excited to get a chance to talk to Mr. Henry later on as well.
Yep, he was under the weather last week, so good to hear from him. And I know some of the first big scrimmages are coming up, and I'm interested to kind of see what's going on now that, for me, practice is really starting to get going because you're putting pads on. And Tom spoke yesterday to the level of physicality they had thudding up, but you don't thud up on Saturday. So I'm interested to see what develops out of the next 3-4 practices that we get reports from.
They put a video out of pads popping yesterday, which just kind of laughed at and thought was funny. And then they're trying to get everyone excited and hyped up and amplify the intensity level of the physicality.
Well, there's a I mean, when you're out in helmets and spiders, as they call it now, there's just that's not football. Reggie Herring said famously 20 years ago or whatever it's been now, that you don't fry bacon in the nude. You don't play football without pads, and you don't fry bacon in the nude. So
I wish we had that quote.
Well, he said a lot of things, but that was one of many things that Reggie Herring said. But those I don't put a lot of stock in the takeaways from the first 3 or 4 days when we're not playing real football. Now we are.
Yeah, some interesting guys coaching defense. You think about Reggie Herring. You think about Willie Robinson. You had some defensive coordinators always seem to have a little flair and pizzazz. Not that the offensive one do. I just always think that there's a little
Keith
more.
Burns would be one you know.
What was what did he call the blitzing style?
Code Red.
Code Red. Yeah, there were some fun personalities that have coached in the last 2 decades. John L. Smith, of course, with your special teams interim head coach, which, that's a personality right then and there.
Yeah. So all that coming up. All right, what are you beefing about? You can text those in, 877-377-6963. I don't know if this is a beef. It's not a complaint. It's just a fact. I woke up at about 2 o'clock this morning. It felt like my eyeballs were pushing out of my head.
Yeah.
I got up, took one of them sinus pills. I don't know, stopped up a little bit, headache, went and found the ibuprofen, and then lay back down. It seems like I laid there. And the next thing I know, 4:30 alarm's going off. So, man, it
Didn't
just
sleep.
stinks. Yeah. Just stinks when and those, I don't know if you call them ocular migraines. I don't know what I had, but, fortunately it's subsided quite a bit. That's my beef is, man, I think those are the worst when you get those headaches or sinus congestion or whatever it is that feels like your eyeballs are being pried out of your skull.
And you can't, as you said, sleep. My irritation this weekend is I intentionally went to bed by 9 o'clock on both Friday and Saturday nights just to try and get a lot of stuff done this weekend. And I woke up at 5 a.m. both days.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I want to be able to sleep in, and I was not able to, just because my biological clock is so jacked up. And I'm hoping that in future years that changes. But based on what Clay and others have told me, it's only going to get worse.
Well, that's where you got to learn the art of a good nap. You know, got to learn.
Dad does take a nap, a good chunk.
You not nap?
Not now. Not when I'm working in. When I'm at home on holidays, yes, but not when I'm working.
If it's one of them days like today, if I could figure out a way and I'll set the alarm on my phone or a timer on my phone, give me a 30, rather than go eat lunch, give me a quick half sandwich and a 30-minute nap.
Those are the best.
Oh, so refreshing for the rest of the day.
I can't.
Now, you got to limit that nap because if you let that nap turn into 2 hours, you'll be up all night.
See, I'll feel worse after I take a nap.
No. You're not doing it right then. I don't know how to coach you up, but you got that 30-minute power nap is, man, you get that about once a week. My schedule doesn't allow for that on a regular basis, but like today, prime candidate for a 30-minute power nap
before going up because you're going to be in Branson.
Yeah, I need to be refreshed to get behind the wheel to go to Branson today.
Yeah, that is. We don't need you.
I'm in Branson tomorrow for the show.
Sleeping on the road all the way.
Nope. So power nap. You got to learn the art of the power nap. The power nap, Ty. That it's a game changer. Hey, Will's RV. That's the place where you can go and if you're camping or whatever, you just slide right back in your luxury RV and get you a power nap in the middle of the day. That's one of the benefits of having all the luxuries right at your fingertips. But seriously, with you can rest well when you buy it at Will's RV because you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Grand Design, Forest River, and the Brinkley Model Z has the latest innovations in luxury fifth wheels. You're going to like the selection. You're going to like the experience when you go to Will's RV as well because at Will's, when you walk in, they get you something refreshing to drink. They got arcade games for the kids to play while mom and dad pick out and select. And I'll tell you, when Ty and I are there to do the show, we kind of like the arcade games as well. So they're good for the big kids too. Will's RV, great service, great people. Lee J and Chris and their team, they're just awesome. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Will's RV.
And it's anatomical clock, not biological.
I was going to talk to you about that
Named
during the
Fort
break.
Smith, thank you.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I made a pizza with pork rinds and pepper rinds.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is Landon Jackson, and you're listening to ESPN Arkansas.
It's summer clearance sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Save 25% off summer casual and fishing clothing by Ariat, Drake, Hook, Wrangler, and Under Armour. Old Town kayaks and canoes, marked to cost. Save hundreds of dollars on the Old Town while they last. Archers, get ready for early bow season. Don't miss the summer clearance sale at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Football, fantasy drafts, new school supplies. It's my favorite time of year. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Born and raised in the River Valley, I know how crazy traffic can get this time of year. As kids head back to class, remember to use caution at crosswalks and in school zones. But not all accidents can be avoided. If you or your loved one is injured in a car wreck, call today. 479-769-1505. No win, no fee. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors. Or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress. Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every Friday is Fajita Friday, featuring their charbroiled steak and chicken. It's tender, full of flavor, and comes with all the fixins. Saturdays are for endless enchiladas with Joe's homemade enchilada sauce and all the beef, chicken, or cheese enchiladas you can eat. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex, even better service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
I ask about you, Ty, and I'm doing this anyway. I'm joking. I'm serious. Clay, I'm teasing.
He's going for the tie.
Carlos Hall. What a game by the senior from Marietta. He was out for 3 or 4 plays. He comes back in and makes the play of the game for the Razorbacks.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, so we got some beefs that people have already shared on our hotline this morning. Continue to flood those in, 877-377-6963. I've got a few beefs to get into this morning as well, and a positive that occurred yesterday. We'll kind of wrinkle that into our What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Hey, brought to you by the Thill floats that are made by Pradco right here in Arkansas. Nothing says summertime like fishing with a Thill bobber with the entire family. It's America's favorite floats by Thill, available in a variety of sizes and colors. They're premium balsa wood floats that are made by the thousands right here in Arkansas. They're great at detecting just the slightest bites by fish, and they work great in tandem with crickets and redworms as well. Find Thill floats at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Before we get into some of those beefs, we've got a couple texts I want to get into. This one comes from Troy in Charleston. You're supposed to, Tommy, when you're in Branson tomorrow, go to Reza. You know what Reza is?
You said go see Reza. I don't know. I'll have to Google that.
It's a show.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm assuming they don't. It's not
I think
Broadway.
he's like a magician.
Oh, okay.
Is he?
All right.
Oh.
Thank you, Big C.
Him or her?
It's him.
Him. Okay.
Let's see. Ben in Little Rock points out that is the beginning stage of old age, talking about me sleeping in. And as I learned from you and Nate in Fort Smith, it's the anatomical clock, not the biological clock.
Yeah, if your biological clock is ticking, we need to get you into some. We need to make some money off this.
Well, there's this.
If you've got a biological clock ticking,
yeah, there's this. I don't know if it's an app or if it's a calendar, but a few of my female friends, when they coax their husband into the time they want to have a kid, their biological clock, I guess what's the term when
ovulating?
they're ovulating.
Yeah.
They get this timer or whatever, and it's usually the male that tries to seduce the female, but in these situations, it's the female that tries to seduce the male so they can have a kid, which has worked, and I think it will work till the end of time when the female seduces the male. Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment on my part?
It was a real art that I had to learn, beating them off with a stick. Just something you got to learn. When you put your foot down, no means no, Ty.
No means yeah. JV in Springdale says when talking about your nap thing, how you're a fan of naps, it's more of a snooze than a nap.
Yeah.
That's how he calls it. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah. If it's more than 30 minutes, it's not a nap.
It's not a nap.
It's in some other category at that point.
All right. Let's get into.
Just wish I had time for more of them.
Yeah. Let's get into some more of our beefs here on What's Your Beef Wednesday.
What's Your Beef Wednesday on the Morning Rush is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. No other meat market is in the same league when it comes to the selection, quality, and value you get from Richard's.
Oh, God, it's so good. So good and tasty.
1 block east of College and Rolling Hills Drive at 3042 North Market Avenue. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
All right, so I've got 6 that I'm going to sprinkle in throughout the morning. I'll start with kind of the lesser ones. We'll build ourselves up to the Airbnb conversation. We all know the phrase "be like Mike." That was a brand promotion that
I had to jingle at one time.
Yeah,
be like Mike. I want to be like Mike.
I have tried to be like Chuck on the coffee side of things, and I've followed through because I understand why he drinks coffee. Now, you still, I'm going to be honest. I think for the first 3 or 4 years here, I didn't drink coffee, and now I do. The one bad part about coffee, actually I said there's 2 bad parts. Coffee doesn't taste good. Anyone that thinks this actually tastes good, you're just lying to yourself.
It smells good, though.
It does smell good. We are on the same line of thinking there. But the bad part is the breath. And you've worked with me long enough to know I'm very particular about having pearly white teeth, which coffee's not great for that. And I brush my teeth 3 times a day, and I'm always chewing gum. I feel like I have to when I'm talking to someone after I've drank coffee, I have to lean down and not talk to their face because I'm so one of the I remember
blast them with coffee.
Yeah, blast them with coffee breath, and that is I guess a beef is for all good coffee does the breath. And I saw someone's face one time after I did. I was like, never again. So as soon as I drink coffee, and that's why we're so far away. Hopefully you can't smell it right now.
Back up
a little bit.
Give me 2 more feet.
The stenches. I understand why the first thing Matt Jones does every day when he comes into the studio is Lysol's everything, probably because the stench of my coffee breath. But that's a beef. It's for all the good things coffee does, the breath is horrendous. It's awful. And I'm so petrified to blow in someone's face of just a foul stench that they hadn't smelled in who knows how long. So when I talk to someone after drinking coffee, I talk to the floor so they don't get a whiff of whatever comes out of my mouth. That's a beef. Why coffee? Why coffee?
Hazelnut
Why?
cappuccino time.
Why? Yeah. So it smells great. I know you were messing with me about the banana flavored coffee. I put honey in my coffee. Got a friend, Bill Ligon, who gave me some of him and his wife's homemade honey. So I put that in. I've got cinnamon that I put in, but my breath smells.
But do you feel more
horrendous.
alert? Are you getting the stimulant?
Yes, it is.
That's the reason to drink it. It's the stimulant.
The caffeine works. And Eric suggests, have you ever heard of gum or mints? As soon as I'm done drinking coffee, oftentimes I'll put in a piece of gum, the whitening gum. But it's just it's irritating and frustrating. Be honest. Be honest. You can be as honest, Big C. You can be as honest. You're around me more after the show than Tommy is. Have you gotten a foul stench? Be as open as possible.
We talked about it the other day when you were gone. Yeah.
All right, now I know.
Well, it doesn't stink as bad when Ty's not here. I mean, people were laughing, pointing. I mean, we were mocking.
It got pretty aggressive.
Yeah, it did.
The coffee beef, man. Don't have much beef with the coffee.
We were counting down the days till you were leaving for Charleston.
And then
going to celebrate how well it would smell. And then Hurricane Debbie. Now,
another reason.
I guess we're going to have to get our COVID mask back out again.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
COVID mask. Ugh.
Can you imagine putting one of those on now?
I still see. I still don't. I see people when driving down the road still in their cars wearing these things. Not often.
Maybe we shouldn't.
But it happens. I don't know.
I don't know if I want to go down this road.
I will say this. COVID's had a little bit of a run here in the last few weeks. I've known several, or in our circle, I've had several within my circle that have had it in the last few weeks, and it's been a little more. You've had some you didn't even feel the effect of it really, or you're down a day or two. This has had about a 2 to 3 day effect on you.
Another beef, COVID is supposedly back, and unfortunately it affected our own Phil Elson. Phil's a tough cookie, and he was as sick as a dog the other day. So I'm glad he's getting nursed back to health. I don't know what Clay had, but I guess the beef at mine is something affected Phil, something affected brother Clay, and now it seems like they're working themselves back on the right track.
Yes, it's back out there, a little bit, but it seems like it's this way right before school at the end of summer every year. So, all right, What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Find them at 3042 North Market Avenue, just off College in Fayetteville and east of College and Rolling Hills Drive. Go to richardscountrymeatmarket.com, and we'll get to more of your beefs coming up here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Speaking of beefs, maybe it's Oakline, and your beef says your bets haven't always worked out. Well, with Oakline, when you open your account, they give you a free second chance bet with Oakline Sports. All you got to do is register, fund your account through their easy deposit methods, debit card, credit card, ACH, on-site cash, Apple Pay, Venmo, it's all there. And then that first bet doesn't work out between $10 and $250. They'll give you a free bonus bet of equal value. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oakland Sports.
All right, we'll get into 2 college football stories coming up. One serious, one a little fun.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Arkansas football coach Ken Hatfield, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crick hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crick hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crick hopper.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett with River Valley Smile Center. We dial 782-8940.
Coach Todd Holland, head baseball coach of the University of Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. I call 782-8940.
Stay cool this summer with a York high-efficiency HVAC unit. For more information on endless hot water and high-efficiency tankless water heaters, give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we've got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go, right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
This is like catching a big brown trout on the White River. I've always wanted this. Give me the hogs, Chuck.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush Podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
All right, so I've got a more serious college football story that could affect your pockets, and then a couple fun ones that we can jump into as well. If you want to jump in with us, do so. 877-377-6963 as we continue to roll on here on What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Yeah, glad you're here, and look forward to reading those calls and text all coming up. Brought to you by The Fence Man this morning, the company we trust. I was talking to Sean yesterday. he was hard at it, and they've got openings right now coming up early fall. So if you're needing a fence around your backyard in your home, whether it's a wood privacy fence, vinyl fencing, chain link, they do aluminum fencing as well for that custom wrought iron look without the custom wrought iron price. They do custom wrought iron fencing as well, powered automatic gates. So really from entry-level fencing on up to the most intricate custom project you might need, they can handle it with the Fence Man. 782-3936 is their number. That's a 479 number, 782-3936. Our buddies at the Fence Man, they ain't afraid of no work.
All right, let's start with the serious one, then we'll have some fun. So, according to CBS Sports' Alex Scarborough and John Talty, the SEC sounds like it's going to move forward with mandated injury reports this season. Athletic directors are going to meet, it sounds like, in 2 weeks, and it sounds like it's going to be approved soon. And the Big Ten did this on game days last year in 2023. Again, on game days. I don't know if this is going to be the week of, this is going to be game days, but it sounds like that this is coming to the Southeastern Conference. We see, and what this reminded me of when I saw this is, if you remember, the Big Ten was actually the first school to have a television network, and the SEC followed that. Mike Slive elected to wait and then follow them. The Big Ten elected to go first on this. Now the SEC, maybe after a year of research, watching how it either worked or didn't work with the Big Ten Conference, sounds like it's going to follow suit. The biggest part of this, though, is the gambling aspect. That's why they're doing it.
Well, obviously, but, if you want to curb or curtail outside influences trying to get information that would provide an edge, just give the information away for free. That's to some degree why you do this, because people are all the time. If you know anyone around the program, someone that gets to see practices, sharp gamblers will try to buddy up with those people to get information that gives them an edge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the issues we've seen when investigations have come about. And you look at I forget the Alabama baseball coach's name.
Bohannon?
Bohannon, yeah. He gets fired and removed. And in fact, that was mentioned in some of the questioning and remarks this year by Greg Sankey at Media Days. Listen, you may think it's just naive conversation you're having, but there's people out there that are trying to pick apart what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened with media members before, where gamblers will call and ask people that have seen practice questions about injuries, questions about players.
Happened to Clay.
And because they're trying to gain an edge. So one of the things you can do is put that info out there. Now, next step is how accurate will that information be? Particularly when it's a key player, star player. How many weeks in a row was Tom Brady listed as questionable, according to their injury report? So, we'll see how they format it, what it means, and how accurate it is with what goes out on the field. Because in the NFL, you can pretty much list everybody's questionable, right? And then if they play, they play. If they don't, they don't. So this isn't the end-all, be-all, but it's a step in the right direction if you want to keep gamblers out of your locker room and out of your practices.
Yeah, because they'll try and get the information however they can, and you don't want them talking to your players at all.
Or support staff.
Anyone like that. Correct.
And it's not always the players or the coaches or those that are directly within arm's length. It's that go down a layer or two within your program. And, there's a lot of people. When you go to a practice, there's a lot of people out there that aren't coaches and players that are there to support the team. Well, they see what's going on too. So it protects everybody. Those folks don't want to get caught up in it either. So this is a step to help protect some of that.
Yeah, and they're, again, trying to, that's the goal in all of this, is to do that. It hasn't been 100% decided, but according to Talty and Scarborough's report, both those guys have covered college football for a while, pretty highly sourced. I'm going to guess that they're going to put it out. It's going to pass here in a couple weeks, and how that affects the season. It doesn't sound like, based on the quotes they included from some coaches, that a lot of them are huge fans of this, just because of the
one more thing they got to do.
Yeah, it's the gamemanship aspect. Again, what I'm going to find interesting is this 2 days before? Is this the day of? Is this the week?
Big Ten did it day of, right?
Correct, yeah.
They did it. I forget what the time was. It 5 hours or 6 hours? I forget the time frame before the game, but it was day of game. So, how much does that curtail? I don't know. We'll see what the SEC does, because you mentioned they're going second on this and went second on a few other things that aren't really connected. But, it's prudent to watch. You don't have to be first. You'd like to come out of the gate and be right. And I don't know that this isn't one that there is one right answer to. So, but there's several things. Sankey mentioned, he didn't mention this particular aspect at media days about coming up with this policy, but he mentioned the tiebreaker for football, that the ADs would be meeting, and we ought to be hearing something about that pretty soon. So it sounds like this is one of several things that, as a conference, they need to decide on really before play gets going here in, was it 19 days now or whatever it is?
22 days. We're Peyton Hill is number of days out till Arkansas opens up their season in Little Rock against UAPB. Missouri also plays Thursday night, so that'll affect the Razorbacks and the Tigers first if this thing passes more than anyone else. Not that they need it to matter against the openers, but now I'm looking at the schedule. I'm trying to remember for Florida and Miami, Tommy, it's significant. Like, that's a big time game. For Clemson and Georgia, that's significant. For LSU and Southern Cal, significant. So while the Razorbacks don't really play a quality opponent in week one, that's 3 games right off the bat that, not that it would change the entire complexity of the game, but it could have an impact.
Yeah. So, this is something that, as far as injury reporting, I'll be interested to see what the format is and how they unfold it in the SEC. Is it going to be a press release from each school? In the NFL, don't they come out and have kind of a mini press conference and release some of this information? I know in the NBA, they have pregame press conferences in the NBA. So this will be one more thing scrolling at the bottom of your screen on Saturday mornings now.
I think it was Pittman that they quoted in the article. Maybe it was another coach. I don't want to misquote coach here, but some guys, like on Thursday, they're not ready, or on Wednesday, they're not ready, to be honest. And then by Saturday, something happens, and vice versa too. Some guys will, hey, it's going pretty good during the week and that. So there are all these variables that coaches and staff have to account for, with just guys feeling one day and bad or the next, or vice versa.
Now, the bigger impact you have on the team and the greatness of your play changes this policy. But coaches talked about, if you can't play and you can't practice by a certain point in the week, you're not going to play on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday, right?
Yeah, generally. It's what he said in the past. So, I mean, but, that rule is probably not absolute depending on who you are and what it means to the team. But, generally they know if a player's not going to be able to go, it's because they haven't practiced all week.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think they know a lot of times by Wednesday or Thursday, if this play, because Friday you're either traveling or it's the hay's in the barn, so to speak, and they're just doing walkthroughs at that point. So by Wednesday, Thursday, there's a pretty clear picture a lot of times, but that's not a hard and fast, absolute 100% rule.
So that is a SEC story. In terms of a college football story, do you know who this is?
Heard it a million times. Is it Pitbull?
It is Pitbull. Pitbull, the new face.
If you did a new Jock Jams, this would have to be on it, right?
Yes. Florida Atlantic, I was always saying Florida Atlantic yesterday. Florida International, located in Miami. It's getting the naming rights to the stadium, $1.2 million a year. Mr. Worldwide. It's a 5-year deal, and it could be 5 more years after that. Now, I'm a fan of the more
than $1 million a year, basically. $1.2 million.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad investment on.
Of course, it's not an SEC school.
No, it's not. But he's official entrepreneur of Florida International Athletics. He can use the stadium up to 10 days, a 365-day calendar year. They're going to sell his vodka. He has a chance to do halftime and post-game shows. He gets not 1, but 2 suites. And then he also gets to be a part of creating Florida International's anthem, helping with their social media, and being a part of a fundraiser too.
All that for $1 million too?
I thought it was low.
Like a bargain.
I thought it was low. It's Miami.
I mean, if he gets the stadium for 10 days, I bet he doesn't use them all. I mean, how many concerts could he? I mean, I don't know what it costs to rent out a venue generally, but He had, and I don't know if he could sell 6 or 8 shows in that stadium, but he could have somebody else there. He'll make money on this deal.
Yeah. Located in Miami, Florida International, FAU's in Boca, but I thought my initial thought was the number was low too.
Yeah.
When you and I kind of went to the same location on this headline.
But we're used to SEC money.
That's true.
The extra comma, the extra zeros.
The publicity. How many times is Florida International on marquee television a year?
We've heard rumblings and rumors, but nothing's come of Arkansas's naming rights are available for Razorback Stadium.
Did you get that check sent off yet?
Well, $1.2 million a year, if you got that kind of deal, I don't know where I'd come up with $1.2 million, but there'd be a lot of people jump on that deal.
Oh my gosh.
Even for, a lot more than $1.2 million at Arkansas.
What do you think Razorback Stadium is worth over the course of, what do you think they're going to try and pocket out of that?
Well, I would imagine they would want to be somewhere between $5 and $10 million a year.
Okay.
Probably a 10-year deal. So if you get a 10-year deal at $50 million, I don't know what they're asking. I've read various reports, but again, I don't know what you get with it. Is it suites that also come? I'm sure Donald W. Reynolds Donald W. Reynolds Foundation just gave money to building that South End Zone complex 25 years ago, and that's where that came from. But I don't know what else Hunter Yurchek and his team would be providing in addition to the naming right. There's value on what a suite is. There's value on use of the stadium. There's value on all those other things.
So just this kind of came to me all of a sudden. Pitbull as an artist, I think about Nashville, Tennessee, where an artist, I don't know who the first one was, but they put a bar on Broadway. Then every country music star since then has tried to buy property on Broadway. With other artists that see what Pitbull is doing, do you think they're interested in trying to buy? And obviously some are vastly more expensive than others. You mentioned the SEC difference, but do you see other artists now going all over the country to their alma mater, their fan? Like Luke Combs is an Appalachian State fan. Could you see Luke Combs doing something with Appalachian State?
I don't know. I mean, to me, if I had the money, that's not one thing I would want. I wouldn't want my name on, particularly if I didn't play there, just because I went to school there.
You wouldn't want Tommy. What's Arkansas Tech's football stadium?
I didn't play football at Arkansas Tech. I went to school there, but I didn't play there.
Now help me on this. Forgive my ignorance. Reynolds didn't either, right? Or did he?
He donated the money to build the stadium. I mean, I'm just telling you my feelings on it. Let
me tell you something. If I had the money and they needed to,
I guess my ego can be fed with other things. I don't need my name on the building. So
I wouldn't.
If I had that money, I would probably put my dad's name or my family name on it. I wouldn't.
Kraft Family Stadium.
I wouldn't put Thomas Wayne Kraft Stadium up. I mean, that's me. I mean, now 20 years ago, yeah, I'd be all about it, but I've grown out of that.
I would, if I had the money and they needed to do stuff to Bud Walton Arena, the contingent or the in the fine print, it would say, "Do not touch Bud Walton Arena seating. If I give you 20 or whatever million it would cost, but you can renovate everything else. You can renovate the bathrooms. You can renovate the concession stands. You just cannot
20
renovate.
million won't get you started.
Whatever amount of money they'd need, and it would be, how would that go? Bud Walton Richardson Arena. That has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
No, not at all.
Bud Walton,
it does not.
Bud Walton Richardson family. I like the family aspect that you come from. There are their fan base, or their stadiums and arenas and venues across the country that the male or the female, they put family on the back end of their last name.
That there was a day that would have appealed to me, but no longer is that a priority of mine.
Well,
I'd rather have my $10 million in my bank account.
There's nothing wrong with that. You will see.
If I had the $10 million, that's the problem.
You're talking about football in Razorback Stadium. We're 22 days out from the first game, which is not played in Razorback Stadium, which we know how stupid that is.
Maybe we'll put your name on that stadium down there.
Memorial.
That is your hometown.
That is my hometown. I don't know if I want that to be. I don't know if I want to be associated. Listen, I love that place. The memories and stuff I experienced, thanks to Matt Jones and others in that place, was unbelievable. But everything has an end. After next year, hopefully that's the end of that. We'll have to wait and see. All right, so football in Razorback Stadium, hopefully you'll see some excitement because you didn't see squat last year from the offense. You saw it on the road. It's the weirdest thing ever. The offense actually played better on the road than they did at home. And the whole football team did. Didn't make a lick of sense at all. I'm still perplexed. I don't know what I watched at times last year, how much better and how much more competent of a football team. By the way, they still lost a lot, but they played on the road relative to at home. But you're hoping with Bobby Petrino coming in that you have an offense and you have some guys that can score some points. We played the highlight earlier about Isaiah Satania and what he did last year against BYU. Here's his his position coach, Ronnie Fouch, coached under Bobby Petrino before, and kind of what he's seen from Isaiah in the offseason.
He's going to have to move around a lot. He's going to have to motion. He's going to be carrying the ball, catching the ball, returner. But on offense, I mean, he's going to have the ability. We're going to move him inside, outside, 12 personnel, 10 personnel, 11 personnel. He's going to have a lot of different roles. He understands that, been motivating him with that, and just understand, hey, this is a big year, man. So he's ready for it. And that's what I love about him is just he's preparing every day, just outworking anybody in front of him.
Now, Isaiah then got asked a little later on in the press conference or before, whatever it was, about, hey, that's Coach Fouch. He had some good things to say about him, but what about Coach Petrino? What about a guy that has utilized guys with your attributes, your skill set before and had success here in Fayetteville? Here's what he said about Petrino.
I heard about all the hype from him, and, I'm really just reaping the benefits. I feel like his offense just really fits my play style. That's
the hope. Tommy, is there been, I think about Corliss Marshall, and Corliss had off-the-field issues that he did. You hadn't heard a peep bad about Isaiah off-field and everything. You just haven't necessarily seen it materialize just which, by the way, is a redshirt sophomore. It's not like this kid's a fifth-year senior or anything. He's just basically 3 years into his college career, and I think we expect the world nowadays than that. But has there been a more, hyped kid lately, outside of maybe Traylon Burks at the wide receiver position, than Isaiah Satania? Because he's an in-state kid. He played right next door. I mean, all those things are, to an extent, are working against him in terms of expectations.
Do you think he's been hyped?
I mean, you had to pluck him away from he wasn't even committed to Arkansas.
But does that mean hype? It just means he's coveted. I don't know if that means hype. I mean, he's not. I mean, listen, I expect him to be a key part of this offense, but I don't hear a lot of people run around saying Isaiah Satania's the guy's going to lead you to a bowl game or lead you to 8 or 9 wins this year or something that to me seems unfair to pin on him. I don't hear.
That's Andrew Armstrong.
I don't hear that at all. So when you say hype, I guess I have to figure out what do you mean by hype, because I don't think Satania's been overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
At least not in the circles I run.
I just think that anytime, and we talked about this before this show, anytime you have an in-state kid, particularly Fayetteville High School, like CJ, Cheyenne O'Grady, whatever name he wants to go by, everyone just kept waiting for him to take that next jump. And those are 2 examples of guys that seemingly had off-the-field issues. I think for Isaiah, and again, I don't want to lump him into that category because he hasn't had a thing off the field, but it's a guy that you're hoping takes the next step. Corliss because of his speed, and then CJ and Cheyenne because he was an in-state kid and he played right next door. So I think sometimes kids at Fayetteville High School, and I've talked to, I'm not going to name the player, but I've talked to one of them about this. He ended up going to Arkansas, but one of the things he just felt like that there was more pressure on him as a Fayetteville Bulldog to live up to whatever expectations that were placed upon him, which in some cases I think are unfair, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, well, and that's why coaches are oftentimes very prudent
mm-hmm.
and very deliberate before they make an in-state offer, because they know if a kid goes to that campus up there in Fayetteville from any part of our state, and particularly Fayetteville, or I don't think it's just Fayetteville High School, I think it's Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
And you're a high-profile kid, there's not just the expectation to play, there's the expectation to start, and there's the expectation amongst many to be a star. And that's why you got to be careful about these things. Is there some added pressure because he's an in-state kid? Absolutely. I don't think that's exclusive or new to Satania.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do think that he's placing more pressure on himself internally this year. And I say that because he kind of mentioned it yesterday, especially in the kickoff and punt return game.
Every game I felt more comfortable back there, and I didn't really do too much returning in high school. They wouldn't really kick me the ball. So I'm just thankful that Coach Fountain gave me the opportunity, and I'm just ready for this year. I only had one return last year, and there were some opportunities for some other returns. So, I kind of wasn't very happy with that, but, this year will be a lot better.
Let's just be honest about something. You have to make up in the return game other elements of your special teams because they're taking a step back. Like you don't have Cam Little on this team. Your kicker will take a step back. Doesn't matter if it's Ramsey, Shipley, Cal Varuso. They're not going to be as good as Cam Little.
Well,
you won't
fair.
have a 50-plus yard field goal. So you have to make up field position somehow.
Do we know that yet? That you won't have that kind of range?
No. I mean, yes, you do know. They haven't.
What are you basing that on?
They don't know who the kicker is. I mean, we're 22 days out from Arkansas football beginning their season, and they do not know who the starting kicker of the team is going to be.
Well,
I know
maybe
Scott Fountain.
Maybe they're just not telling you.
I know. Scott Fountain said the other day Cam Little had to compete. We knew who the kicker was going to be. Even as a true freshman, Cam won that job. Like that. This.
I don't know. I understand where you're coming from, but they don't know necessarily who's going to be starting at any of the other positions, with the exception of quarterback and defensive end. I mean, how many would you say in the 22 or maybe 23, 24 starting spots, depending on formations on offense, and then if you're running nickel on defense? I'll grant you a couple extra are locked in. Do you know who's going to be starting at both linebacker spots? I mean, just say we don't know who the kicker is. I think you could spread that conversation to several other places on the team.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Armstrong's probably going to be one of your starting wide receivers.
I think it's Armstrong,
Jackson's
Broden,
probably going to be your running back.
Satania. But when they've talked about that position, there's less assurance, I sense, than any of the others.
Okay,
maybe
that's fair. But to say that you're not going to be able to kick a 45-yard field goal this year, a 50-yard field goal,
50 plus. I mean, that's for a college kicker, that's pretty good. That's why that's not a. Again, I don't want to belittle or just lambaste those three guys, but I don't think they're NFL kickers right now. And otherwise, one of them would have won the job. And Scott Founder, Sam Pittman would have said, "Yeah, this is our kicker this fall," but they hadn't won the job.
No,
there's other guys that he said, "Yeah, they won the
22
job."
22 days. Camp's not over yet, so we'll see what you may be 100% right, but I don't think we can declare that at this point. Brought to you by the Hickey and Hole Law Partners. They're growing their firm by opening 4 offices over the last few years, with the additional locations in Mena and Little Rock. They've been in Fort Smith since day one, and then in Northwest Arkansas as well. So if you're in Rogers or Bentonville, or you're in Benton or Hot Springs or Mena, there's a Hickey and Hole Law Partner office nearby to help you with a custody case, divorce cases, civil or criminal matters. They've got 7 decades of combined experience to put to work to aggressively represent you from your corner. Call Kevin or Brad, 479-434-2414, or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
More of your beefs coming up on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Here we go, Arkansas. The current lotto jackpot is over $2.5 million. Someone right here in Arkansas is going to win a life-changing jackpot. How do we know? Because Lotto is only played and won here at home. Feeling good about your chances? Try Lotto today for only $2 per play. Get your ticket at any Arkansas lottery retailer or on the Jackpocket app. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like me.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, hot temperatures will continue through at least the next 24 hours. We'll start to cool things off Friday into Saturday. Sunny skies today, a high this afternoon, then the low to mid 90s. Tonight, mainly clear, overnight low near 65. Tomorrow, sunny, low to mid 90s, and we're back to sunshine Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 22 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale and online at rathmitsubishi.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Sends Satania back to his own 13-yard line.
Out across the 20 to the 25 to the 30. Satania trying to get to midfield. He's across the 50. He's got a chance to go. Isaiah at the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. A 53-yard punt, an 87-yard return, and there you have it. Isaiah Satania, the redshirt freshman from Fayetteville, takes it to the house.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bush Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
All right, we got more football to talk about this hour. Peyton Hillis, number of days 22 out. So Arkansas takes on UAPB on August the 29th. Richard Smith, former Arkansas Razorback wide receiver, All-American track guy, too. In addition to that, it's going to join us in about 20 minutes. Again, heard from Coach Fouch, heard from Isaiah Satania, Jaden Wilson, and also Isaac Tesla yesterday. We're going to hear from Richard coming up in a bit, and your beefs as we get going in hour number 2.
And What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Hey, what's going on the grill tonight or maybe this weekend? Whatever it is, you'll find only the best at Richard's Country Meat Market. From the aroma of steak to perfectly flavored gourmet burgers and fresh kebabs. This summer, make your feast the best ever with Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue, and online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
So I guess Isaiah Satania could have a beef because they apparently say his name wrong in NCAA.
I'm used to people not saying my last name right, so it doesn't really affect me. But, I wish my overall was a little bit better.
You probably don't have any issues with people saying your name wrong. Or the only thing would be spelling it.
They spell it wrong. Yeah.
K-R-A-F-T instead of C.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, pretty straightforward like yours.
Yeah. I have to spell out my first name, but Richardson spelled all the same way. That's not an issue.
You have an E on Ty.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's Tyson, right?
Just Ty.
Tyson.
Just Ty.
Tyson Francis Richardson, right?
Francis, yeah, Franklin. Ty, yeah, Ty
Francis.
Ty Franklin, Ty Francis. I don't really care what people call me.
We just call you Franklin?
As long as you listen. I'm going to take a line of Derek's book. As long as you listen, I don't really care what you call me.
Ty F. Richardson. The F could stand for several things.
Several things. It's like in Ted 2, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Why do you, and then they go to that rant or whatever. But don't have an issue with that. Isaiah, he was laughing when he said it, so I don't think it's a major beef or anything. A beef I do have that has been kind of resolved a little bit. So around 3:30 yesterday, called Airbnb again, and they have since. Oh, I've called them a bunch.
Well, I didn't know anyone took calls anymore.
They luckily they do. They have since refunded our $5,700.
Good for you.
But there again some contingencies upon that. It'll take 7 to 15 days to get it back onto my credit card. I have to pay back the group that Venmo'd me for the money. How does one do that? And I legitimately don't. How does one do that on a credit card? You can't withdraw money from a credit card, right? It's credited $5,700 or $5,700 to my credit card. I need it to be credited to my bank account so I can then send the cash.
You have to call your credit card company and figure that. I don't normally when it comes to financial stuff. I've got a quick answer.
I waited to ask you this morning.
I've never had to. I understand your
conundrum,
your plight here.
Yes.
But yeah.
And so 7 to 15 days, dude.
I think, and I've never had to do this because I've never been in this situation where I've gotten a large scale refund, but I think they can send you a check from American Express or Visa.
Okay,
or whatever, I think.
I hope so because that's what I'm hoping for.
And what you want is don't even send you a check, just ACH that right into your account.
I'll do that. Yes, because I have to pay that account through my region, so I'll just send that over. But the knuckleheads that I had to deal with during this process over the course of the last couple of days is absurd.
So to back up for those just joining, You're supposed to be going on vacation leaving today, right?
Tomorrow.
Leaving tomorrow and going to Charleston, South Carolina. Hurricane Debbie wrecked your plans. You rented a very nice Airbnb for you and your crew, and they didn't want to give you your money back, and you finally fought them, hardballed them tooth and nail to get your money back.
I mean, over the course of 3 days, Tommy, I sent 20-something messages and called them like 7 times.
So you were a real pain in the side.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
And they were just like, all right, get rid of this kid. I was upgraded to supervisor status. And then what happened, I dealt with, listen to this, I think, 5 males and 1 female prior to talking to Supervisor Sahib, and she, within 5 minutes, got me a refund. So, for all of you listening, and this applies anywhere, it's happened to me with American Airlines, it's happened to me with now Airbnb, do whatever you have to do to get to a supervisor or a manager. Once you do, it's golden. It's cake. The issue, you remember, this was funny.
Well, I don't know that that's always the truth.
This was funny. I think it was Atlanta a couple years back. I don't know this to be fact. I think you might have missed an email that for a flight that I was supposed to return home that it moved up.
Yeah.
Because you remember I got to the airport and I called you and I was like, Tommy, they said the flight left already. And either it went to your spam or went to your trash or whatever. I had to call American and figure some things out. Went through, a person was on the phone with her 40 minutes. She finally put me through a supervisor like that. And I got home somehow. But that's what I've learned in this process. When you're on the phone with customer service, AT&T, anyone whatsoever, as soon as you get to that higher level person, they have the power.
Because if you're ugly about it, probably not going to get a lot of help.
Yes. And here's
that's hard to do when you're in the middle of an airport.
Here's the other thing in all this, Tommy. On top of it taking way longer than it should have for us to get a refund, and technically it's not in my hands just yet. It's still 7 to 15 business days. I'm under the impression that Airbnb holds that said money and then gives it to the host after the stay is completed. So I think that's how the protocol works with that business. So I get a call from the host yesterday, the same host that would not give us more than $1,000 back reimbursement. And they said, hey, by the way, it's not that, but the storm's going to blow over Thursday. The media's just overplaying it. I texted my friend in Charleston, and she's like, yeah, it's nuts here right now. You do not want to come here. They were trying to recoup the $5,700 back from us that they lost because our trip got canceled. And she was trying to lie to us and said it wasn't that bad. Even though Charleston is a wreck right now, people, I think in South Carolina have passed away. I mean, it's a terrible situation. But they were still trying to get us to rebook. I mean, I would be more mad.
I would never rebook with any of her properties.
No, not at all. Ever. So, and listen, I always say more derogatory things towards men than women just because there's a respect level there. But some things cross my mind that don't often cross my mind when it comes to speaking to a female. I was like, thank you. I kept it at bay. And then as soon as I hung up, I was just went off into a tangent. I mean, who does that? Are you really worth sacrificing your own dignity and your own truthfulness just to recoup some money from one lost reservation? This weekend
depends on how bad you needed the money.
Yes. Well, in this case, apparently they need it. So that will not be a service that we utilize from here on out.
All right.
That one.
Well, I'm glad your money is back on its way. So
in 7 to 15 business days.
Well, I mean, it's better than zero that you're never going to get it.
Yes.
So, good for you guys. Hey, Sassy's Barbecue. That's the place. If you're starting to make plans for tailgating for the football season, or just maybe making plans for a place to go to watch the games, and I know with some of these preseason games on, we're all kind of getting in the mood for that. Don't forget about Sassy's, the original Red House on North College. Sassy's Barbecue and Grill. They're just off the Weddington exit on Steamboat. They have got great locations with outdoor patio and outdoor dining. We're going to have great outdoor eating weather this weekend. It's going to cool off a lot. They've got the Razor Packs for game days or any occasion if you need to have a big, large platter of their great barbecue. And don't forget those award-winning smoked wings. Sassy's. Eat, drink, and be sassy. 2 locations in Fayetteville.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
It does my heart good when Texas football, Texas basketball, and Texas baseball suck.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
We got to show them we are the University of Arkansas.
The first thing people notice when they drive up to your home or walk in any room of your house is the color. And if you're looking for the perfect color and the perfect paint, you'll find
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot.
It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill.
So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas.
Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious
Card Pass Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
Morning Rush Daily Question brought to you by Cart Path Social. Scotty Scheffler. Here are all the things that have happened to him in 2024. Won his second Players' Championship, his second Masters, 7 wins on tour, 7 wins worldwide. He's the world's #1 player. His firstborn child. He's made $30 million. He won a gold medal, and he went to jail. Went for a few hours.
We got that in common.
Yeah. That's a pretty good year right there.
Yeah. I mean,
two-part question. What's the biggest thing that happened to him out of that list? The answer should be firstborn child, but we'll take that out of consideration. And then, secondly, what's the biggest thing that's happened to you this year? You can follow along and you can answer the Morning Rush daily question brought to you by Cart Pass Social. Text your answers to 877-377-6963. What's the biggest thing that's happened to Scotty? What's the biggest thing that's happened for you this year?
It's got to be the kid. I mean, if you say anything otherwise, you're a heathen.
Yeah.
You got to say kid. I think it's got to be the house, right? Actually,
yeah.
I feel
that's a big one.
That's all these guys have given me different advice on different, which I'm actually welcoming. There's some things that I just ignore, but when it comes to house advice, I need as much as humanly possible. I'm trying this week, by the end of the week, trying to furnish and fully develop and finish the pool house. I think we're gonna get the.
Did
plumbing.
you find a tenant?
Got like 25 people that have sent me stuff, and I'm trying to comb through those and vet and figure that out.
And what do you know about that?
Not a stinking clue. Does their Facebook look weird? Yes or no?
Okay.
Yes, they're out.
All right.
Does it look normal? Yeah, the house and the kid. And I don't know how you say anything outside the kid if you're talking about Scotty Scheffler, Big C.
Mine's obvious.
Beating Zach?
Yeah.
There it
There
is.
you go.
There it is.
Beating Zach and, I almost said Madden, but that ain't right. NCAA 25. So, all right. I guess if I'm Scott, obviously the kid's the answer. I think winning a second jacket, but since he already had a first one, I want to go with the gold medal. But I think one thing that might have helped Scotty more than anything is, the firstborn child, whatever. The $30 million is a big deal, but gold medal, how many chances in a lifetime do you get to win a medal at all, or even compete in the Olympics? There'll be another Masters the next year, and he's got a stack of cash that we can't even imagine. So I'm going to say that for me, I'll stay in the golf theme. It's the hole-in-one, right? He was hitting a hole-in-one a couple of months ago.
It's funny.
That's the biggest thing that's happened so far.
You had
outside of family.
You had the right. You know why you hit the hole-in-one? Because I was out of your hair for a couple days.
Well,
and you had the right mindset. You had less stress.
Yeah.
Things were easier around here. And I come back because I get this because it was on Friday, right? Was I in Tampa? I think I was in Tampa, and I get this.
Another wedding or gender reveal or
something. Someone messaged me. By the way, you can do gender reveals at Cart Pass Social on that subject. Someone messaged me asking if I got a hole-in-one. And I was
not a chance.
And I was like, no, I played awful in Tampa thus far. And they're like, oh, never mind. Tommy got a hole-in-one. I was like, no, he didn't. And then, of course, I started getting a flurry of texts. It's like, oh, he actually did.
Did I ever send you the video?
Of you walking up?
Yeah,
it was grainy. Who was your videographer? They sucked. Get a better videographer. It's probably one of your best friends. You can name him, and I'll call him out right now. I don't care. Was it Robert? Was it James?
I'll leave the innocent alone this morning.
That was rough. So don't let them take a.
It's my phone though. I don't know.
How old's your iPhone?
It's a 15. 14?
Okay, well, it was grainy. You could have gotten a better
iPhone 8. Is that new?
An iPhone 8. It's new. It's I don't want to pay. By the way, listen to this. Another beef this morning. When I added internet to my bill, they took a discount from my phone for 2 months because they like AT&T has this thing. It's like, oh, your auto pay takes 2 months. So I had to call them. That was another thing I had to do yesterday. It was like, I didn't change anything. I need this credited back to my account. And of course, that took an hour to get $10 credited back. Took an hour to figure that out.
All right.
Blows my mind.
Morning Rush Daily Question Part 3. Are you sitting through an hour phone call to save $10 to get $10 back?
The way I'm having to pay for all this house stuff, absolutely.
You got more time than I've got. Over $10. So
couple texts. JT in Hot Springs says his biggest thing was waking up to his beautiful wife every day. BJ and Rogers.
Correct answer. Yeah.
BJ and Rogers said, for me, he finally had an opportunity to take a job that is very low turnover, and he got it. Congratulations to BG and Rogers.
Chris is wrong. He says nobody cares about golf. Of course people care about golf.
Chris,
you don't care about golf.
Chris is just always in a bad mood.
Chris, you're always... you're drinking decaf or something.
His another beef, Tommy, Single A in Danville says his beef is X&A. It took him 45 minutes to get his bag at the carousel at 9:30 last night.
Yeah, I've been there. I feel for you.
The construction, the ridiculous airfares. What I do like is X&A is improving. Like I was in Nashville pre-improvements with their airport, and now it looks unbelievable, and it continues to grow. I don't know if X&A...
It's still got a ways to go to be a major city.
Yes. Though. I don't know if X&A is necessarily going to reach that level, but they're working on...
When the Waltons say so, it will.
Yeah. They're Southwest, please come to... I know that everyone has had their issue with Southwest before, but just the flights that could be added through Southwest, would love to see Southwest come to Northwest Arkansas. Yeah. Don't know if it's going to.
And all God's children said... Amen.
All right, that is your Morning Rush question, again, presented by our friends at Cart Path Social. Number one destination for indoor golf in Northwest Arkansas, BYOB. Food, drink. You can bring your beer and seltzers to Cart Path Social. Check them out, cartpathsocial.com. Make sure you tell Christian, you tell Nate, you tell the rest of your staff. You heard it on ESPN Arkansas on the Morning Rush. Cart Path Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
Touchdown, Richard Smith. Back, Richard Smith with a second tee today. Wide open lane to the end zone, Richard Smith. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Razorback, 92 yards. Jones wants to air deep. He's got somebody. At the 31, it's Smith.
This is former Razorback, wide receiver, and All-American track and field athlete Richard Smith, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
So some guys love fall camp, other guys don't. Just kind of depends on where you were at the time you were playing, where you are now. Richard Smith now joins us, former Arkansas Razorback. Richard, would you want to be at fall camp right now? Is that something you enjoyed back in the day, getting ready for seasons when you were playing here in Fayetteville?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Great to be with you guys. Back in my day, I used to enjoy the beginning of fall camp. Tommy, you tested this, the beginning when you're in T-shirts and shorts. Once you start getting into the heat, the real heat and pads, and everybody's got a little edge on their shoulder, you kind of want to get away from it, but I do miss it. You get to this time of the year every year, and you get that itch as a former player to be out there, be around the guys and the camaraderie and stuff like that. So yeah.
See, here's the deal. See, I referee some basketball, and I don't get a chance usually to do football with Richard because we're in Cruise, but Richard's still in good enough shape. He could actually get out there. It's a reasonable thought on his behalf that you could still get out there and go a few routes with him.
Well, I would hope so. I would think I could, but I'm in my 40s now, and so I think one good hit right now, going across the middle, will just hit me down.
He's going down.
He's tapping out.
He sees Xavion or Brad Spence in the middle. He's like, I'm gonna hold up on this slant route. I'm not gonna run it all the way through. Richard, I think it's an interesting stat about this Arkansas core, which again, everyone knows they went 4-8 last year, but when you look at the wide receiving core, every single guy that caught a pass for this team last year in the wide receiver unit is back. They had some times where all right, got some capable. Armstrong looks like the alpha. You played the position, pretty good at it. What do you think about this group?
Well, it's good to have all those guys coming back for the continuity of that group in that room. I'm super excited for these guys because, when I played here at Arkansas, we ran a little bit of different system, and I left the university in the top 4 in the receiving categories, but there was a head coach that came in right after mine that kind of obliterated all those records that we had. And so I would have loved, as a speed receiver, love to play in a system that Bobby Petrino has. And these guys have a great opportunity to make a name for themselves this year coming out in the system that Bobby Petrino runs.
Richard, you've made a career of it there in Fayetteville. You're still on campus and working with these athletes every day in a different role. Tell our audience what you're doing every day, because it's not just football players you get to interact with, but other athletes on campus. Catch us up a little bit.
Yeah, so for the last almost 12 years now, I've been back at the University of Arkansas working on the academic side in the athletic department. So my official title is Assistant Director of Educational Enrichment Services, where we work with student athletes. Right now I work with football, but primarily men's basketball, which is something different right now that's going on. And we help those students acclimate to the university style of getting up, going to class, making sure they go to class, making sure they're coming into study hall, making sure they're getting stuff done to remain a student athlete here at Arkansas.
Oh, so you're the one doing roll call, and if they're not there, you're the one reporting back to the head hog, right?
Yeah, we have a team, we have a system, but yeah, primarily that.
All right, so let's get back to these wide receivers. And yesterday we heard from Ronnie Fouch. I know you get to watch practice some. What have you seen from the new wide receivers coach? And you spoke of the athletes, but what have you seen of the coaching under the new leadership of Bobby Petrino and particularly Fouch at wide receiver?
Well, I've seen Coach Fouch a couple times, talked to him a few times. I just love the presence that they have on being intentional about running your route. Me and my skill set, it was all about, running routes, being precise on your routes. As a, under 6 foot person, the 5'11", I'm not a big body. I wasn't a big body receiver, so I had to use my speed and use my footwork to gain my advantage. And I think they're going to help these athletes with that, and they're going to be in position to make big plays this season.
Richard, one of the things that Coach Fouch, in addition to the preciseness yesterday, was talking about, he kind of echoed the same thing you said, was like just getting open. And it's not just about being in the right place at the right time, but like that was an issue for Arkansas last year. I know they're transitioning offenses a little bit, but with a lot of guys that are in year 2 in the SEC, how much more can you see Arkansas wide receivers giving their quarterback chances to make plays this upcoming year?
I think that's why I said when we were starting this interview, like year 2, and being in the program, being in the SEC, I learned a lot after my first season in 2000 actually playing, because I redshirted in '99. That hey, this league is very, very physical, and you have to get acclimated to that. You have to get stronger in your upper body. You have to learn how to use your hands to get you free from a lot of DBs and safeties pulling on your jerseys that doesn't get called. And so I think in this gaining another year of experience is going to help those guys. And what Coach Petrino is bringing is going to definitely exceed the expectations and push them to be perfect every day in practice. That way in games it becomes second nature to them.
Richard, we're a couple years into NIL and that process and how it's really changing the culture within programs. What have you seen from the sidelines, in dealing with these athletes and interacting and working with coaching staffs and just in generalities? What have the differences been the last, say, 24 months on campus now that NIL is here and players are reaping the rewards from that?
Well, I don't want to dive too deep into it, but NIL is a big thing that's going on now. I'm extremely happy for the student athletes on campus and being able to have the opportunity to get those benefits of NIL. You can definitely tell that it's put a strain on, I think our football team a little bit last year with the differences in certain people getting certain NIL versus other people. I I can go for about an hour, 2 hours on this topic. I wish, it was set up a little differently, but I'm not the one making the call. But NIL is a great thing for our student athletes nowadays. I just personally wish it was set up a little different so it would help the student athletes in the long run, and you didn't have the disparity between the higher ups on the football team versus the other ones on the football team.
You mentioned your academic support role and primarily working with men's basketball. Obviously, the state's excited about John Calipari and his staff and him establishing his program here. Tell us, kind of having an insider's view of it. What's this transition been like over the last 4 or so months with the men's basketball team?
Well, everything on campus, everything around basketball is super exciting right now. I've actually met Coach 3 times since I've been over to a couple of practices this summer. We've actually talked. He comes over and he introduced himself, and I wasn't expecting that, and that really caught me off guard. And it made me feel like, hey, this guy's kind of a genuine guy. I'm looking forward to everything that he's going to bring to our basketball program, which we're seeing now with certain recruits that are coming in, and just the whole staff. They come over. When I go over to practice, they come up and they talk to you, speak to you. Not that the other staffs didn't. It just seems like, I'm this guy that, works in academics. They don't really know my background at all because they're just getting here. And they came over, they started a conversation, and we got to talking, and they were like, oh, you did this? Oh, okay, yeah. You can just see, like, in them, they're like, oh, you're a former student athlete. Oh, you're an Arkansas guy. Okay, well, now we can really talk to you and really bring you into the fold. And we're all working together for the success of the basketball program.
Yeah, because, you've got track background, football background. One of the things that excited me when Coach Cal was talking with the media a week or so ago, that he's brought in some of the track coaches and folks to teach them how to sprint, to teach them how to run the floor. I'm sure as a guy that valued your speed back in the day and ran some track, you were excited to hear that part too.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the past the basketball teams have used track and field to do some workouts, some conditioning stuff. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't understand there's a lot of technique into running. And you got to use your arms and use your body in a right way to move your body the way that you want to move versus just trying to use your legs. If you use your upper body, your arms, your whole body will probably move a little bit faster.
We're talking with Richard Smith, former Arkansas wide receiver this morning. Did Cal introduce himself to you as Johnny Calipari from Moontown, Pennsylvania?
No.
Okay. I didn't know.
No, he did not.
I didn't know if that was how he went about it. Richard, before we let you go, heard Isaiah jokingly yesterday say that they pronounced his name wrong in the NCAA game. Didn't really bother him. Have you played the new NCAA game? And do you remember when you were in school playing the NCAA game and maybe utilizing yourself on a jet sweep or two?
Actually, I've been talking to the boys, the guys, for the last month about the game. And I do play the game. And the only team I use is the Arkansas Razorbacks. And I even mess with a lot of the receivers. And Jalen Braxton, I mess with him a lot because he's a DB. And we always talk about if I was still in my prime going up against him right now and stuff like that. But I even messaged Isaiah Pena and text and stuff because I scored like 3 touchdowns in a game on NCAA, and I sent him a screenshot of it. And so, yeah, man, I played the game. I played the game back in the day. There's something that we did in fall camp when I was in school. They would put us in the dorms for like a week or so before we go back to our apartments, and I would always bring my PlayStation 2, and we would play games. We would set up tournaments.
Man, it's great to hear from you. I'm looking forward to seeing you this fall at a football field or catching up with you, and just good to hear your voice, my friend.
Same here, Tommy. Look forward to it.
All right, Richard Smith, one of the greats at Arkansas, and I didn't know Richard personally in his playing day. I enjoyed watching him just like the rest of us, but Richard officiates high school football and basketball, and I've I've developed a friendship with him through that, and he's just really one of the really good guys.
Yep, good to have him on. If you missed any of that conversation, you can find it in our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. I got a story about NCAA coming up in just a bit that I want to share. But first, I want to share about Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Larry was telling us yesterday about flipping a lot. What he means by that is getting all these cars out of here and get some new inventory. Accepting your trade takes 10, 15 minutes to kind of go through that process. But when you're in the market for a vehicle, I know some of you like to buy new. I'm always a pre-owned guy. When I get my next vehicle, I'm not buying it new. I'm going to buy a pre-owned vehicle. And the ones on Larry's lot and David's lot are road-ready certified, really Rath road-ready certified. They're hand-picked. They're fixed. You're not going to get a vehicle that has a bunch of malfunctions, bunch of problems. You got brand new tires. The front end work's taken care of. It's the best used car a money can buy. So when you see him in Fort Smith or you see David in Springdale, don't just look at the new vehicles. Look at the pre-owned ones. Again, the Rath Road Ready certified ones to Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. You can ask David any pop culture question. I bet you he knows the answer. And then come see Larry in Fort Smith and tell him where you're rolling to next. Again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Richard mentioned he's playing with the guys. When I'm thinking about this, he mentioned the dorm. When I was at that Arkansas basketball camp, I can't remember if it was Pell or Mike Anderson back in the day. One of the things we would bond, we would get Papa John's pizza at night, which was awesome, Tommy. But we get a whole pie, which is great. But we would play NCAA football in the dorms back in the day. You got kids on dorms, and I still remember a friendship that I developed with this kid named Darian Key, who's a Pine Bluff kid. Me and my best friend Ted, we would play NCAA football. We'd all be in a room together, all three of us, and play till the late hours of the night, till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then wake up 6 in the morning, by the way, and play basketball all day. That is such a fun experience. I loved NCAA football. Still don't have a console, but that is a fun experience.
You'll buy one? Does this get you motivated to get back into gaming?
I'll play on my brothers or friends or someone else, but I'll get waxed. I mean, if I play Big C right now, Christian beat me by 6 touchdowns. It would be embarrassing.
I bet you're a throw the controller guy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. It's like the golf club.
Slam it down.
Throw the golf club, throw the controller. Just don't break it. Don't break it as best you can. But it's hard.
I don't even want to know how many replacement controllers my wife has bought at my house. I just don't even ask. I don't want to know because I just get mad.
You got to teach your son some discipline. Yeah. Get him.
It's the headsets, too, now. They slam them down.
I don't see you throwing your head. Well, actually, I say that. I've seen you throw your headset once or twice, but it's rare. It sounds like Dylan's is more frequent than yours.
Yeah.
Yours, I think you've thrown a headset maybe like 4 or 5 times since we've done the show. Sounds like Dylan's is once a month or something like that.
Maybe
Swipe the card, Mom. Swipe the card.
Yeah. Keep one in the closet. Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. It's always a great place to hang out, relax, and unwind. They've got a variety of accommodations with 80 private cabins and lodges that are on property. But I want to focus on their restaurant. They're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So when you're staying there, you'll have a private kitchen in your own cabin. But you can also just go to the restaurant and let them cook up a great meal for you at any time. The views from the restaurant overlook the dock and the White River at night. They light up the river area around the docks. You can see the fish there, and it's just a great place to relax. Even if you're not staying at Gaston's, you can stop by and have one of those great meals with them and start your lunch or dinner with that John Boat salad bar. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Jay Billis of ESPN, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The world is always changing, and our lives change right along with it. So when you need a bigger space for that gym or remote office, a larger kitchen, or a yard to run around in, your local Weichert agent can help. And when your life changes again, and you're looking for that cozy place for just the two of you, your Weichert agent can help then too. Because at Weichert Realtors, we know that no matter how the world changes around you, we'll take you home. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
The nation is going to be talking about Arkansas.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So I've got good news. The Chicago White Sox 21-game losing streak has come to an end.
This could do it. Out to left field coming in. Benintendi. And the streak is over. After 21 L's in a row, the White Sox come to the West Coast and get their first win in a long time. Say it with me. Southside, stand up.
Stand up.
Sounds like they won a championship or something there. Yeah, that sounds like a call that you'd won the pennant. Just snapped a 21-game losing streak.
Yeah, Andrew also hit a two-run shot at the game. The Chicago White Sox defeated the Oakland Athletics 5-1 and just tied the AL record for the most consecutive losses. This was something on our Fenceman Friday this past week. It did not come to fruition. So, again, congratulations to Benintendi and the guys for finally getting that done. Frank Thomas, just happy that they're not considered a laughingstock anymore, or that they at least won.
It was a heck of a ball game. Sox found a way to win. That's all we wanted in Chicago, just to win. It's hard to be the laughingstock in baseball. You know, these long losing streaks, everyone talks about it, and the rest of the national news pick up on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy conversation. It's easy news. So now, turn the page, move on.
Turn the page, move on. That's what they're trying to do. We'll see what becomes of the White Sox. I think they've now got to 30 wins. They might still just be under it, but yeah, happy that thing has come to it. Did you want it to go? I didn't care. If there wasn't a Razorback on the team, I would have let it go. But I mean, I loved watching Andrew Benintendi in 2015. I didn't want him to be a part of that.
Well, how many White Sox games have you watched this year?
Not a one.
All right, so
not a one.
Let's not act like you're keeping up with Benintendi's every move on the field. So.
Not a stinking one. Trying to keep up with what's going on in fall camp and everything. You had Fouch yesterday, the head of the wide receivers position coach, and also
they call that the wide receivers.
Yeah,
coach.
wide receivers coach. I don't know why I'm saying head. The position coach for Arkansas, and he had Isaiah Satania, Jaden Wilson, and also Isaac Tesla in there. One of the guys that wasn't in there that people keep asking about is Monte Harrison. Here's what coach said about the soon-to-be 29-year-old, I guess.
Monte's been impressive. You know, I was unsure coming from baseball how in shape he would be, how he'd handle, a full practice, and he's done a great job. He's strong, he's physical, he's still learning releases and stuff like that, a little raw on some technical things, but he's progressed every day of camp and developed those techniques that he's missed out on for a couple of years. But he has the natural talent, the burst, the strength, and the strong hands. At the end of the day, everybody just wants the knowledge. They want to be coached, and coming from baseball, he's eager to learn more and more about football, being away from it so long. And there's just a different level of maturity. He's played in the professional league, so he acts like a pro. He takes care of his body, he studies, he takes notes. So it's great for the young guys to learn from him on how to be a pro.
Is that his biggest attribute, just being his age and what it would do for the locker room? Not necessarily what he does on the field, but just kind of the example that I'm assuming he sets based on how he goes about his business? Or is he actually going to impact the team, you think, this fall on the field?
Oh, I think he'll be a role player. I don't think he can be as just distant from football as he's been and come back and have an impact on an SEC roster and team. So will he have some moments, but may play in the first game? I don't have high expectations that, hey, this is going to be the guy that is your possession receiver, your third down go-to guy. I just think it's a great story and one worth following, but I'll be surprised if he's one of your leaders in catches or yards when the season's over.
Yep. That is your Hog Update this morning. It is brought to you by our friends, as always, at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call
8 Sparky.
All right, Clay Henry is back with us in hour number 3. Your calls and texts are welcome too. I do want to mention we've given a couple funny stories this morning. Tommy, the Arizona Cardinals, have you seen this cotton candy burrito that they're rolling out?
Nope.
This upcoming season. Ice cream.
That doesn't even sound good. Well, keep going before I make a judgment.
Skittles, ice cream, M&Ms, other candies.
Are you a
cotton
Skittles
candy.
guy?
No.
I'm not
M&Ms
either.
all the way.
Yeah.
I take M&Ms over
Peanut
Skittles.
or regular?
Regular.
Yeah, peanut.
I saw this. It looks kind of cool, but a cotton candy burrito. Can't say I've ever fathomed that creation before, but they're rolling out with it in part of their, I think it looks like their club area seating. These different array of food that, whether it's franchises or college teams, they're just trying to one up one another. Let's make the craziest, stupidest thing possible and get as much attention to it. And who cares if it tastes good or not? We just want the social media clout or credit, as you always say.
Yeah, well, and you got to do things to stand out, be unique. I'm just not a cotton candy guy, you know.
I don't like it either.
I mean, you don't like cotton candy? How can you not like cotton candy?
I just don't.
But I don't crave it. It's not something that when I see it, I got to have it.
It's
It's
like,
for kids.
It's air too.
Well, it's sugared air, and it tastes
Don't
good.
forget-
But you
Don't
know,
forget the sugar. That's
not exactly filling.
Yeah,
You know,
this doesn't do it for it. There's plenty of other concession stand items that I'd much rather have than cotton candy.
oh, if I'm going to waste the calories, let's have one of them state fair corn dogs or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a funnel cake. Let's not waste it on cotton candy. No, sir.
Yeah. On a What's Your Beef Wednesday, I wanted to add this in there. I know you play. How many have you counted up the number of streaming services that you pay for on a monthly basis?
I think we got rid of the Disney bundle, but I think it's just Netflix now. I think that's the only one.
That's the only one?
I think that's the only one I got.
Do you know what you pay for it? Off the top of your-
something.
Okay. Well, Disney Plus is going up $9.99 with ads, $15.99 without. Hulu is going up to $18.99 without ads, and then ESPN Plus is going up to $11.99. I know that in society today we shouldn't expect anything to get cheaper, but things just keep getting more and more
we have
expensive.
Prime too, but I guess that's included in your Prime.
Okay.
When you got Amazon Prime, it's included. But
Okay, because you guys get so many Amazon packages, it makes sense to.
Don't even get me started.
Makes sense to that. Is that is a significant other the quickest way to delete your savings or delete money that could be used for savings? It is like when I went to Walmart, for example, so I'm trying to furnish this house and do everything. I just bought the cheapest. I bought the cheapest trash can. I bought the cheapest towels. I'm trying to add things to the house that make it livable, but I'm doing it in the cheapest way possible.
So you're just
based on yes. You've worked with me for 6 years now. I think you understand how cheap I am because again, we're in radio. We don't make a lot of money, but
you're just a pauper.
I'm trying to
scraping by.
Trying to get by, but.
Getting his $5,700 refund from Airbnb.
Yeah, well, trying. It's still not here yet. 7 to 14 or 7 to 15 days, but
barely scratching out an existence.
I had to like refinance for that. It was it was wild.
Yeah.
It was the scene. I had to move some money from the savings to the checking. It's this whole convoluted process.
Cry me a river.
You wouldn't understand it.
Cry me a river.
You haven't been in that salary cap in quite some time. You wouldn't understand the convoluted process
Trust
that I have
me,
to go
it's
through.
capped plenty, but welcome to home ownership. That's all I can say. Hey, I get by Arts Barbecue. Great lunch today. And don't forget this weekend, I know it's just Wednesday, but every Saturday, $1 off all burgers at Arts. Get anything with a house-smoked, house-made bacon. They brine their own pork bellies, and there's about a 2-week process. Smoke that thing and then slice it off, put it on the griddle. It's the best bacon you'll ever eat. Try it on one of their burgers. $1 off every Saturday. Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel crick hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The crick hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel crick hopper.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors. Or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
This is the Morning Rush.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started, but you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
It's summer clearance sale time at Julco Outdoors. Save 25% off summer casual and fishing clothing by Ariat, Drake, Hook, Wrangler, and Under Armour. Old Town kayaks and canoes, marked to cost. Save hundreds of dollars on the Old Town while they last. Archers, get ready for early bow season. Don't miss the summer clearance sale at Julco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, hot temperatures will continue through at least the next 24 hours. We'll start to cool things off Friday into Saturday. Sunny skies today, a high this afternoon in the low to mid 90s. Tonight, mainly clear and overnight low near 65. Tomorrow, sunny, low to mid 90s, and we're back to sunshine Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell.
ready to serve. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 22 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Sends Satania back to his own 13-yard line. Out across the 20 to the 25 to the 30. Satania trying to get to midfield. He's across the 50. He's got a chance to go. Isaiah at the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. A 53-yard punt, an 87-yard return, and there you have it. Isaiah Satania, the redshirt freshman from Fayetteville, takes it to the house.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
Last week, we were deprived of a great conversation we were set to have with our friend Clay Henry. Unfortunately, Clay was a little under the weather, but he is back, rip-roaring and ready to go. Fall camp, 22 days. Peyton Hillis, number of days out till Arkansas opens up their season against UAPB in Little Rock War Memorial Stadium. Clay will, of course, have some thoughts, and we're excited to get with him and have him back in hour number 3.
And it's a Watch Your Beef Wednesday. One of Clay's favorite places to stop is at Richard's Country Meat Market. He loves the fillets there. Maybe their flavored gourmet beef patties fit perfectly on your grill this weekend and on your palate. Quarter pound beef franks and their shop-made sausages all go along with any great meal. For irresistibly delicious summer meals on the grill, stop by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville, 1 block east of College, and Rolling Hills Drive at 3042 North Market Avenue. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. Clay, I imagine one of your beefs today would have to be being under the weather for a few days. This is not the time of the year an angler like yourself wants to be taken away from his passions.
Yeah, I went to the 50-year reunion for my pledge class 2 weekends ago, and I guess I got COVID. There's some other people that got it there too.
Been going around a bit more.
Yeah,
I know several that have it right now or are recovering from it.
There's plenty of that apparently in Baxter County, but I'm pretty sure I have not been in any crowds or groups. Pretty sure that's where I got a lot of hugs, people I hadn't seen in 50 years, including some wives. You know, those things, the wives tend to outlive the men. I don't know how that works, but it does. And but it was a fun deal. But boy, Tuesday and Wednesday, things changed, and it was real all the way to Saturday. I got to tell you, Saturday I felt pretty good. So Gina and I talked about we've got this vaulted ceiling with all these recessed lights, that are on little swivel things, point them to the duck taxidermists and fish on the wall and the art, and 3 of them were out. So I got this extended pole out, changing the lights. That all went well. Don't have to get on a ladder, so that's not dangerous. But there's one corner light that it was faced in an angle that the pole that I was using was tapping against the wall. And I didn't realize it, but it tapped against the thermostat, and it turned the air conditioner to the heater.
Uh-oh.
And, of course, I didn't realize that I'd done it. And, I retired to the couch to watch Olympic stuff, maybe the Olympic golf, the replay of that. and I started sweating. And I was like, I thought I was over that COVID. And finally I got up and checked the thermostat, and it was on 82.
Yeah, 82 is not fun. Clay,
I am the only person in Arkansas that ran his heater Saturday afternoon.
Well,
the only one.
At least you know it works for when you're going to
It
do
still
about
works.
4 months.
Yeah, it cranked it up there.
Look at you always finding the positives in the negative. That's a good way to look at it.
I'm a glad.
The positive is that I didn't die.
Yeah, that is for sure.
That's my beef. Is
Well,
how silly
didn't die?
Well, I know illness has kept you away from being at some of the practices, and
Yeah,
but I know
I hadn't
you've kept up with what's going on. Just from the reports, what are your limited takeaways at this point?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty clear that Bobby's installing his offense. You know, they've got the crossing routes working, trying to get the timing down, and I think that they've not really had pads, so I mean it's basically gym class. I think that changes today. I think it's going the right direction. Until they scrimmage, you'll find out a little bit more. And I guess when you come out of the scrimmage, you assess, what kind of damage did you do, and the depth is the concern with this team. There's some places where I think they're too deep. They're not as good at their second team quarterback. I mean, when they name their first team quarterback that easily, that quickly, that means there's a gap. So there's, they don't have the depth that they want at that position, and it comes down to experience, and I think they've got some depth at wide receiver. They probably lack depth at the offensive line. I mean, their top 2 tackles, there's a huge drop off after those guys, so they got to stay healthy. I know Patrick Kudus has been out with a back injury.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a little depth there. I think there's not as much difference between the 1s and the 2s at that left guard position. He's probably the least talented, experienced player they have. His experience would be the main thing, bulk. They've got some depth on defense, I think. So we'll see what where they are 2 weeks into camp, and how much they've scrimmaged, if they've maintained their intentions of scrimmaging a lot, building toughness, beating up on each other a little bit. Sometimes when you get injuries, the head coach finally says, hey, we can't afford any more.
Yeah.
You can't afford not to scrimmage, though, in my opinion,
Well,
Tommy.
Yeah,
Clay,
I don't think you can afford to avoid tackling either.
Yeah,
No.
Clay, I want to ask you about that balance, because I heard Kirby Smart got asked that question at SEC Media Days. Now, he can afford to when he plucks in or puts in another 4 or 5 stars. Yeah. So, like, if you're Sam Pittman, you're coming from the Kirby Smart, i.e. the Nick Saban mold, who have way more talent than you do, and you kind of mentioned the balance of, like, how delicate is that when you want to be physical through fall camp leading up to the season, but you also don't have the soldiers necessarily behind. That's got to be something Pittman gets, I don't necessarily worried about, but has to think about every day of practice.
Well, I think what you said, the right word is balance. You have to, assess where are you, how much, and then there's also where are we? How well are we tackling? What's this team look like? You get to a point where it's silly to keep beating on each other, and you've got done what you need to. But it's, it takes, a really good coach to realize, hey, we've got what we need. But, you're putting in a new offense so that, as many reps as you can get there. Live reps are better than just air, going against air.
Mm-hmm.
You want your timing right. You want your guys in pads when they're going across the middle. You want them to think they're going to get hit. That's better rep than going across and knowing that nobody's going to touch you when you catch it. So there's balance, and you get to about 2 deep into the season and you realize, well, we should have done more or we did it right. So no one can sit here today and say what is right and what have they done it the way they needed to. That's why they get paid what they get paid, make those decisions. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But I think this is a more talented team. They appear to have fixed the things that needed to be fixed. And you also can create confidence by tackling, by doing things live. Your players get confident. They know they're being prepared right. And then if you don't, you get into games and they begin to doubt. It's like, well, we're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other part of it. I think that they've had a good winter and they've replaced what they needed to replace. They seem to have good leadership. They seem to be allowing the players to lead. But what I'll tell you is that what we hear doesn't prove anything. We don't know until we see the performance on the field. There's going to be doubt just because of the way they played the last 2 seasons. That we don't have any confidence in what they're saying because we want to see it. And it's have they taken a step up? I believe they have. But it's, I'll be a little more confident once I watch them live.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fan base feels that way. We're talking with
That's fair.
Yeah, we're talking with Clay Henry, by the way. Often you'll see a column of his on hitthatline.com, and he is a senior ESPN Arkansas contributor. Clay, one of the interesting...
Or is he just a senior? We're not sure which.
He's a contributor. He's contributing right now.
I want to tell you, I found out how old last week, and I felt that COVID, it gave me the fatigue. I'd do a few things. I was like, I'm doing a little better. And then all once it hit me, and I'd be down my recliner. Old Millie, she's like, hey, let's go to the river and let you throw the buoy for me. Millie, I don't have it today.
Clay would be what we were talking about, the SEC injury report earlier, Tommy, the possibility of the SEC coming out. Clay would have been listed as out last week.
I was out.
Early on in the week.
I want to tell you, Wednesday I got up with intentions, and I guess I went to bed Tuesday with some fever. I thought, well, I'll bounce out of this. I didn't know. I had not tested and didn't see a need to test, just had a little fever. I figured it was going to be a sinus infection. And I got up about 6, and I hurt all over. I mean, I knew it was the flu. I mean, that flu-like symptoms, and I tested. And first I just sent y'all both a message that I can't go because I could not. My voice doesn't sound great. I had no voice. I mean, I opened my mouth and tried to say something, and it squeaked. So y'all
and Jean said yes.
Yeah, well, she was still asleep. She wasn't. I'll tell you how bad it was. She didn't. She moved to another room for a few nights.
Wow.
First time in 48 years.
Wow.
The last time I had COVID, she said, I'm going to get it too because I've already been exposed to you for 2 days before we knew it. So she's like, I'd rather stay in the same room with you where I can watch and see if you're still alive. And I said, which way are you pulling? She would.
What are the odds on Bet Saracen right now that Clay Henry makes it?
She got into the personal effects. I think she was checking for life insurance.
Jeez Louise. I get morbid on us all of a sudden. Clay,
glad you've,
I was joking.
Glad you've rebounded
thank
and
you.
you're here.
Clay,
Me too.
I got one of the questions that was asked of Coach Ronnie Fouch, the wide receivers coach for Arkansas, was about him and Colby Smith both working for Petrino before. You got a new offense, you got a new quarterback, and we saw last season it just didn't work with Enos and stuff. Does having 2 guys that have worked under Petrino help the other players on the offense kind of adapt to what he's trying to install this fall quicker, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it's huge, and it's they're coaching other coaches. Mm-hmm. They know the installation. They know what's expected from the offensive coordinator. I mean, they're there to help coach Sam Pittman too. When Bobby's not, Bobby might be recruiting. If there's a question that comes up, they can answer it. They're helping, they're training the grad assistants. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that would be an advantage, in that they've been through everything that's happening. They know the questions that are going to be asked. They know the corrections. They know what doesn't look right. And they also know how to react when Bobby's not happy? What's his tone, and what does he want? And I think that it just all goes together, and it's made a lot of sense to me. And I can remember somebody saying, "Well, Bobby's going to hire, he's going to get his Carroll College Mafia back together." It's like, well, why wouldn't he? I mean, it's his offense. And guys, I went back and looked at some tape of Texas A&M. They were not running the crossing routes. They were not running Bobby's offense. He had to be miserable, and now he's in his element. He's got his coach. He's got his wide receiver coach. He's got somebody that understands the tracks as far as the running backs. And I think it's that Arkansas's offense has a chance to be a lot more efficient than what you saw with Texas A&M. And what that means is you should be able to control your turnovers, and that's what got Texas A&M last year. It's when guys, they're bumping at each other. They don't, it's not, and I can't imagine bringing in a coordinator and telling him, hey,
run my stuff.
Yeah, call it this.
Yeah.
Use our language. No, you don't do that. And Dan Enos wasn't required to do that either. Sam, that wasn't where he was handcuffed. It was the lack of offensive tackles. But so far, their quarterback's healthy, offensive tackles are healthy, running backs are healthy. It looks like they've got depth on the defensive line, but the same thing goes. Travis Williams, he hired his guy to coach the secondary, Marcus Woodson, and they're joined at the hip, and I just think that's the way you do it in most cases. And head coach is going to do the interview, but Bobby is saying this is the guys that I want, and Sam's going to take them unless something a red flag comes up that he doesn't think fits in the way they coach people, the way they handle people, the way they treat people. That was what Sam wanted to know. The football part of it, he left to Bobby.
Yeah. And to add to your point about Texas A&M last season, they cycled through 3 quarterbacks, Clay. It wasn't just turning over the football on the field. It was the turnover of
injuries.
That position. And they still scored 10 more points a game than they did the previous year. So that, listen, if you're looking at the positive side.
Think if they let Bobby run it, from start to finish, what they could have done.
Yeah.
And that was Jimbo's ignorance. That's why he took the payout.
Yeah.
He did it maybe he wanted to make sure that they failed.
I'd be curious. He's coming to the touchdown club. I'm curious, the Little Rock Touchdown Club. I'm curious what he says. Curious what questions.
Well, it'll be really fast and it won't make any sense.
Yeah, he will not speak at a slow pace, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, quick word for APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in Boone, Marion, Baxter, Benton, and Washington counties. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or have paving or concrete labor experience, you can apply today at jobs.crh.com. Top pay, sign-on bonus, benefits that include insurance, retirement, and profit sharing as well. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
Clay, I want to get your thoughts. I kind of joked about you being on the injury report earlier, but according to John Talty and Alex Scarborough of CBS Sports, it sounds like the SEC is moving in the direction of injury reports, similar to what we see in the National Football League. Now, the Big Ten was the first significant college conference to do this last year. They did day of. It's unclear right now if the SEC will do the day of, the week of, specific time. Gambling, obviously, the biggest part of this. But what do you think about the direction the SEC seems to be heading in 2 or 3 weeks from now?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. And in open practices, if you're giving out the injury report, I think the open practices will return a little bit more. That's always the reason. You don't want to tell your opponent who you're working at, what position, and what quarterback, because it can handcuff you if you don't have this guy or that guy. And I think but there'll still be some games being played behind the scenes. It's like you're not going to get the depth of the injury. Like this guy's got this guy's got that, or it's going to be lower body. They're not going to say, well, so and so got scoped. I don't know. They may do that. That would be more.
I think you're right.
Significant.
It's going to be very minimal, the information.
Would you say vague?
Vague, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, be a lot of questionables on there if I had to predict what would happen. A lot of guys going to be questionable. Tom Brady was questionable for years, every time that one of those came out.
And he always seemed to play, with the exception of that 1 year of Matt Castle. But I think based on what I've heard, Clay, coaches aren't in favor of this. But again, you don't want your players.
They're paranoid.
Yeah, and I understand, but you would rather. I mean, I'm not a coach, so maybe I can't speak for all the college football coaches. But I mean, do you really want your support staff or other players leaking information of what's behind the scenes, or would you rather just all be out in the open? Because the gamemanship, it can't be utilized because it's either one or another. Guys, well, I say that. They could still use the questionable aspect, depending on where the severity of the injury is. So I'm very curious what policy the SEC implements, it sounds like, in 2 or so weeks when it comes to what, not only the day that they have to have him out, but, hey, is this guy playing or out? Because how they go about that is obviously coaches are going to have to rethink their strategy heading into game weeks, I think.
Oh, I think you're right. But, the thing about it is a lot of times the coaches don't really know. I mean, they think they know. It's like, obviously if a guy's got a broken hand or broken foot, he's out. And, that you can go ahead and say that. But, the high ankle sprains, you don't know if it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And, it just seems to drag on, the questions. And we finally kind of understood Sam's language of what we could guess if a guy was out or not.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get to more of your beefs. It is a Watch Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Hey, we all know it, and you should know it too. There is no other meat market with the same selection, quality, and value that you'll find at Richard's. For the best meat in town, visit Richard's Country Meat Market at 3042 North Market Avenue or online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I'm not throwing a Richard's steak in the air fryer because I think I would get excommunicated from Arkansas.
I had a Richards last night. I had a filet.
Let's go.
But it was great.
7 ounces. And I will tell you, if you go in there, right on the counter.
Hey, Clay, finish that on the other side. We'll come back to it.
Okay.
Y'all are more important right now to the public than you've ever been, and just keep up the good work. We enjoy the banter and the jokes and the carrying on. It's just a blast.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hudson Clark with his 5th career interception.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center. It's August, it's hot, and it's time to flip the lot. So we're giving you the best we got. Save up to $6,000 on red tag clearance prices on a fantastic selection of road-ready certified used cars with warranty. Plus up to $2,000 extra for your trade and no payments for 90 days. They've all got to go. Right down to the bare asphalt. Get a great deal on a great car now and help us flip the lot. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nuys work to give all of their patients a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5501 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farm. Now offering same-day crowns, 226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Well, Chuck, it's good to hear you, man.
Good to talk to you, Joe.
It's always good to hear your voice.
Texas backed up inside its 5, and they fumble the ball on the goal line. It's loose in the end zone. It's either a safety or a touchdown, and it's 6. Touchdown, Arkansas. It's recovered by Taiwan Johnson.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Clay, I don't know if you've heard about Mr. Worldwide that is now getting his name on the FIU Stadium in Miami. Pitbull, I'm forgetting his real name, but this is a college football story that made headlines yesterday, and we'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Maybe how that ties in a Razorback Stadium now with Reynolds going away from that.
Hey, if you're looking for a golf cart for your neighborhood or the golf course, Arkansas Golf and Power Sports is where I'd recommend you go. They helped me this summer get into a brand new easy go, smooth ride, great look that I customized, and you can make your cart look any way you want. So if you need a certain color that your club requires, or you just want Razorback red on yours, or you want custom seats like I did, Hey, you can find it at Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. They have a wide variety of work and golf and leisure vehicles. You can put your own wheels and tires that you select out, seats, lights. I did a sound bar in mine. You could do electronics. They could do lifts, custom paint, fabrication,
Yours light up,
extra
by the
USB.
way? Yours light up?
I have lights on the front, but I don't have like the extra LED lights.
Okay, maybe get some of those.
I don't play well. I don't use it much at night. So I mean that was I wanted the sound more than anything. So hey, if you want one that looks right, feels right, rides right, go to Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. Fayetteville and in Little Rock, the Northwest Arkansas location is just off the Garland exit. Go the opposite way of Sam's. You'll see them on North McConnell right there, or find them online at arpowersports.com.
You need spokes.
What'd you say, Clay?
He needs spokes so you can put a baseball card in there and make it go thump, 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 thump.
Oh, man.
They put some good-looking wheels on there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Robert over at the Stadium Shop's got some Razorback valve stem covers. I got to go buy and
there you go.
Buy
valve
them.
stem covers. You'd have to show me what those are because I got no clue.
What? Well, you probably have 4 of them.
On my car or what? Couldn't tell you.
Hey, don't even go there, Tommy. Let him flounder.
Let him revel in his own ignorance is what Clay's saying there. Now, Clay, I think one of the reasons you're probably feeling better is because of that filet at Richard's last night. You were finishing something for.
Yeah, so I watch them cut them, and I don't use bacon around mine, so they cut them. They cut them while I watch. And I get them 7 ounces, packages them up by 2s. Usually I'll get 10 packs, and so you get them out 2 at a time. And the other day I was looking at some of the rubs behind. They got every kind of rub you can imagine, but on the counter they've got little plastic tubs, and Richard handed me one, and it was their rub, and it's got coffee, brown sugar, pepper, garlic.
I've got some of that. Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's called his 50-50 rub, and then I used that last night. I think I've used it 3 times, but last night.
Coffee, those coffee grounds,
the aroma is just out of sight. And I had never tried that rub until maybe a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, I'll use it up. I'll have to get some more, but it's not expensive, but he's got it stacked right on the counter, and and I mean, this is a gross deal, but it's kind of like the same kind of little cups that you get, worms when you go fishing, just those little tubs.
I got you. Well, sounds like Clay, there was Michael Jordan's secret stuff in Space Jam where they drank it and they were back to normal. Now it sounds like Clay, that's his secret stuff. Well, Clay, I know you've, again, we were talking about practice earlier, kind of the stuff that's been relayed to you. I don't know if you've seen the story with Pitbull that Florida International has given their football stadium naming rights to him for $1.2 million a year. He gets some stuff along with this. 2 suites in the stadium. He's the official entrepreneur of Florida International Athletics. They sell his vodka in the stadium, and there's some other things in addition to that. Any idea what's going to happen with Razorback Stadium coming up?
I don't think it'll be Pitbull, and I don't think it'll be Justin Moore. I mean, I don't think it will be anyway. I think it's going to cost a lot more than $1 million. But here's some trivia on Florida International. They used to not have football, and they hired my brother Butch as athletic director, and the president asked him to do some research, and they hired a consultant, Chuck Ninus, and that's how they started football at Florida International.
How about that?
Yeah.
So your brother was the AD there?
Yeah, he was AD for about 5 years, and then he went from there to Alabama, and ran Crimson Tide Sports Marketing. Bob Bachrath was AD at Alabama, and they'd been senior associate ADs at Arizona under Cedric Dempsey. That's kind of how he got his start in athletic administration.
Now, your brother in KC now, right, Clay?
That's Butch.
Okay,
Yeah, he's retired, lives in the plaza. It's got him I call it a townhouse. He calls it a condo, but it's massive, and it looks straight down on Andy Reid's house.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that story. But
it's a nice place.
We'll see if we'll see if a recording artist has any interest in Razorback Stadium naming rights here in the next couple months.
George Strait Stadium.
I think you'd have a lot of the fans be okay with that.
Yeah.
But I think
we call it straight out of Fayetteville.
Yeah. Hey, Valley Family Dental Practice is open, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms. They provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. They have welcomed Dr. Bland Van Nice to their staff, and they go along with Dr. Sparkman and Dr. Farmer. They give their patients a comfortable experience, a great experience every time they see the dentist. Plus, they now have same-day crown service available as well. 479-226-3500 to make your appointment, 226-3500, or see their brand-new website at valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
All right, when we return, your SEC update, we'll come back to the report from CBS Sports, and we'll wrap up the show with our buddy Clay Henry and get into our beefs on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hi, you're one of the best up-and-coming young talents in the broadcasting industry. You really do your homework.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Family, that's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Aline Crabtree, family-owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals at WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Vegas, baby! Vegas, baby!
This is the Morning Rush.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart.
This video is powered.
Tires. We keep America rolling.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air.
And implement before the season something that you would like to see changed prior to 2024?
Eliminate all commercials.
It's a good one.
Well, now we're out of business.
Not on the radio, just on television. Well, we don't make anything.
Well, when will they play the radio commercials?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer on the spot for you.
All right, thank you.
I didn't think it's going to happen. But
Yeah.
That would be.
That would be yours, Clay.
I did notice that the NBC had some segments where they filtered out commercials. They had, they called it prime viewing hour or something, and they limited the commercials. And then of course I watched the Olympic golf, and they played through, if you know what that means. In other words, they had a commercial on the right side, and then you could watch the action on the left side.
So here's
with
something.
No sound.
Here's something I would like to see. We're not going to go back to divisions, which would be my number one. I would love to be
That's where
back
I
in
figured
divisions
you'd
in
go.
football.
Yeah.
So but that's about like commercials. We're going to, we're not going there. How about we?
I didn't think you would.
How about we open up a little more of the communication in the replay process, kind of like the AFL or whatever one of these USFL did, where there's more transparency when a play goes to review. A, it wouldn't be so boring to watch. B, it wouldn't require another commercial break. And I think we all learn something about what really goes on. Everybody thinks they're trying to figure out how to screw your team over, when actually all they're doing is watching every angle to try to get it right. But I think the transparency of that process is something the NFL and college football could learn from the USFL or whichever one of these summer leagues have been doing that.
Well, what they don't want, Tommy, is when they've got somebody that's talking and they say, "Well, hell, I can't tell." They don't want that. So that's
sometimes it's that close.
I know, but they don't want anybody to say, "I can't tell."
Well, but I transparency is lacking. I think
Or
in some of that.
where you have two people talking and one says, I think it's this. Well, no, I think it's this.
Yeah. But that's why there's replay, because there's a lot of close calls. So,
but they don't want to be the one that didn't see it.
I know. But
Or like when Jason Autry basically mouthed, "I missed it" in the Auburn. I think that would infuriate Arkansas fans more.
I think, but I think that was confirmation. You know, that's good too. Like Tommy said, that's transparency. I mean, we all knew he missed it, so it's
once we all figured out
Tommy,
what was going on. Yeah.
When you're working a game, and there's sometimes that y'all make a call, and you realize, hey, we probably missed that. We're not sure. And the coach is just letting you have it, and you go over. And Nolan told me this. He said, referee came over and said, man, Coach, I think we blew that. He said, there's nothing else I can say.
Yeah.
I'm just going back. There's no more yelling. He just
told
told me what I knew.
Yeah.
And there's not, if he tells you, I'm sorry, I missed that. I mean, it's the same thing. Sometimes I apologize to my wife, and I was like, man, I blew that.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of ends the discussion. That's what she needed to hear.
Well, she would just want to confirm what she already knew.
But that's what the coach wants too.
Yeah. But you don't get to do that twice in the same game.
He wants
or really the same year.
No. It's kind of like the old deal. Bear Bryant, when they'd have a bad game, he'd start his press conference and say, I just want to apologize. Well, that's okay. You're only losing one every 2 years. You can apologize. It's when you're apologizing 10 times like Chad Morris was. Well, then you're gone.
So, what else would we like to change? The injury report. I'm not a gambler, so it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I guess it's good for radio. We can talk about it in the hours leading up to the kickoff. I
want to go back.
Eliminate 11 a.m. kickoffs.
No, well,
can we do that?
Listen, and this is going to tick a lot of people off. I really do like the idea of staggering games to start even an hour earlier. 10, 2, 6. So, so you can have. I hate when games get.
You could do that in the Eastern time zone. You could do that with your schools that are hosting games east. Start them at 11 there, which is 10 here.
Correct.
But that would be palatable.
Yes, you've mentioned that before, Tommy, and I like that idea because it helps. I hate when games go over and you're waiting on another game. You got to flick it to another channel, or they throw it on ESPN News, or they throw it on the alternate. It's just like it's a hassle. Just space them out a little more, but they're not going to do that based on television.
So the game management part of it, that is I don't have like a this is my beef thing. What gets me, and I know I'm old, and I can't help it. I'm going to be old. My hearing isn't great, and the thing that really bothers me is really, really loud music. I can't even think. And when I go in a stadium now, especially in warm-ups or during a break, and they play a mixed song. It's two songs mixed together. I really saw it and heard it for the first time and realized what was going on when we were at Globe Life Field for that 3-game baseball series. They had a professional guy that was they call him a mixer, right? He's DJ, mixer. Ty, help me with this. Is that
mixologist?
Describing it?
A mixologist.
Mixologist.
Yeah, DJ works here, Clay.
Yeah, and he'd play an old song with a new song, and he would put them together. It's like, play one or the other. I don't need them both playing at the same time. I mean, that's like my left ear's trying to pick one of them up. My right ear's trying to pick and they're doing that at baseball games, Razorback. But I think that's what I heard some. And I don't need that. And I mean, if they want to play a rap song, I get it. But don't mix rap with Neil Diamond. Please.
It is, I will say, in today's climate of college athletics as a DJ, it is very difficult because you want to get the young people fired up, you want to get the old people fired up, the middle-aged people fired up, and
I don't get fired up.
That's fair. But it is harder to appease everyone than people think. But Clay, I get where you're coming from. It is odd to hear one genre of music, each sped up or incorporated with a mix, and then completely shift gears.
You know what it is? It sucks.
There it is. There it is. All right, that'll conclude our SEC update here this morning on What's Your Beef Wednesday.
It's worse than COVID.
It's brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Do you want to spruce up your existing home or start from the ground up? Either way, check with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas first before you get started and find out why for more than 100 years, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has helped local families just like yours make their dream home come true. Visit myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or stop by any of the 25 locations at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
Clay, just take that energy that you just had of anger and throw it into another beef. I'll do mine first. Keep yours intact. I think another beef I'd like to share this morning is like the fall camp injuries, and this just isn't an Arkansas thing. But you know how like as a radio host or fan, you get excited about this certain player, and then all of a sudden he gets injured. Arkansas hasn't had that, luckily, knock on wood, just yet. But this time of year, it always seems to happen, not just for the Razorbacks, but other teams. A player that's worked so hard, worked so diligently to get ready.
Yeah, like when Niall Davis went down.
Yeah, and I hate that for these guys that put in so much effort in the offseason, and all of a sudden it just, in a blink of an eye, their season's over. That is one.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it just changes the fortunes of your team.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely a beef of mine this morning. Again, it hadn't happened for Arkansas just yet, knock on wood. But I just feel for the guys that suffer these season-ending injuries right before the first game of the season.
Yeah, are you ready for mine?
I'm ready, Clay. Let's hear it. Fire it up.
Yeah, I think this is driving is when you're going down the road. You know, maybe you're a hair over the speed limit. Maybe you're right at the speed limit, and Farmer Joe pulls out going 20 miles an hour, and he sees you coming, but he knows he's got enough space to wiggle in there, and then you got to follow him for 10 miles, and he's going 40. That's my beef. I know the road's his too. I know it is. Assume he paid taxes.
Captain speed limit.
They were yesterday was Farmers Appreciation Day, guys. I guess we should have said that. But Clay, I know where you're coming from. I was just
he couldn't wait and let me go. There's nobody behind me.
Yeah.
He pulls right out.
I think he did it on purpose. He had read one of your columns. He didn't agree.
Yeah.
He did it on purpose.
Hey, I've made hand gestures at him. It wasn't number one either.
Well,
two
waved him off. So, hey, it's Throwback Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street, across from Harps. I have one of the old Cuckoo's platters today that you can enjoy. Tomorrow will be. Hang on, that's not today. Today's Nacho Average Wednesday. Tomorrow's the Throwback Platters. $1 off all the nachos today. Tomorrow, the Cuckoo's platters. I was a day ahead of myself. Friday is Fajita Friday, then endless enchiladas on Saturday. So get by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Something special going on every day. Best chips and salsa around. Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street, across from Harps and Fort Smith.
I usually roll down my window and yell, "I'm Ty Richardson and I hate your guts."
When in doubt, use my name if someone ticks you off. That way, all the pushback and the feedback can go directed at me rather than you. Well, Clay, appreciate you again jumping on. I know you're still probably not 100%, but it's good to hear.
I'm better. Yeah, I know you guys were y'all. And I apologize for leaving y'all hanging last week, but just
somehow we survived.
Yeah, and we've all been through it. And I mean, I've dodged it for a long time, but it's real, and it too much hugging with old people is dangerous.
A lesson that I just learned for the first time today.
Glad you're back amongst the living here.
Yep.
So,
yep.
All right, we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Clay Henry with us on Wednesdays on the Morning Rush. Watch Your Beef Wednesday. Again, brought to you by our friend Richard over at Richard's Country Meat Market. Find something great to go on the grill tonight at Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville, and online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
You're going to be in Branson tomorrow for explain that to our audience again.
We're going to be at the Ballparks of America at the Chicago Field.
Let's go.
They got 2 big World Series start.
Loaded Thursday
Babe Ruth
show.
and Cal Ripken.
Looking forward to tomorrow morning.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all.